Hey guys, we're back in the dyno room with a 360 stroker. Yes, back in the dyno room. Question is, are we gonna get the same power of a Hemi out of this small block stroker? Wow.
Nick's Garage is supported by Atlas Equipment and K-Tool International.
Hi, I'm Nick. Welcome to my shop. And yes, here we are, back in the dyno.
And today on the dyno for testing is this 1974 Chrysler small block that started life as a 360.
Jeff with the Barracuda from Ontario brought it in. He told me put the engine on the dyno, see what it does. We found a few problems with it. First, when we had to test it, didn't make much power. Second, he lost oil pressure when it got hot and it went to idle and it went under 15 pounds of pressure. So he told me, tear it apart, Nick, and let's build it.
When Jeff bought the car, he was under the impression that the 360 had been stroked out to a 408. But when Nick pulled it apart, he found out it was still at stock displacement.
It was just a basic 360 with the elbow block heads. So he's told me to overhaul the engine, buy a stroker kit, install it, and make it a 408, which is right now a stroker engine, 408 cubic inch.
Now the engine is what it was supposed to be and has been built to Nick's standards. It's time to find out what kind of power and torque it will make on the dynamometer.
So all we have to do today is warm it up, get it running, mix up test with this Elder Block 750, and then see what power we're gonna get and torque. And then after that, we're gonna go to the 750 Thumper. And I also have his original carburetor that came off the car. We're gonna test them all, and whichever works best will end up in the car. So this is what we got. He wanted to stick with a small block. It is a 74. It is a low horsepower engine from the factory. So what we got here is something a little bit more different and more towards his specs. So let's hope it does well. So we're going to do some dyno testing, and we got some special guests from Tennessee, USA. We got Rod and Irma from the USA, and they're here to see us doing a show. And at the same time, we're going to do a little video on it.
Hey guys, back in Chattanooga and Collegedale. I want to especially say hi to Johnny Shedder.
Okay, I'm ready. Let's make some noises. I'm going to warm it up. Shut the water pump so I can get it warmed up. Oil pressure is good. Vacuum. Okay, let's see what it's gonna do. Oh, battery voltage is up. Take a look at that. Bring it right back. check the timing before we go anywhere. The air fuel ratio seems to be good. For idle, that is. Well, I don't know. Not very often I get a 408 over here. Okay, I think it's ready. Let's see how it goes. I'm going to take it to 5,000 RPM. Let's take a look. It's a 40 overbore, so it's a 410 cubic inch. I'm going to take the test at 2,900 to 5,000 RPMs, at 300 RPMs per second. Here we go. You guys ready? Here we go. Let's see if I don't need to adjust the absorber. Well, you know, this is not going to be an official test. We just have to heat up the block, heat sink the block. Take a look. So far so good. Let me check the oil pressure. We lost oil pressure on idle hot oil. We had just under 15 psi on this particular engine, but now that we had the crankshaft replaced with a stroker and all new bearings, new oil pump, this is our oil pressure on idle. Now that the oil is warmed up, I got the timing fixed up, and now we got a 750 Edelbrock. So we're going to do further testing later on, but with the Thumper carb. But right now, let me do a few tests with the Edelbrock. Air fuel ratio, it's on the rich side. Okay, I'm just going to make one more run. And it seems like we're going to have to go higher than 5,000 RPM. So here we go. We're going to bring it a little bit higher. We're going to take it to maybe 5.5 or 5,300. Here we go. By 1, 2, 3. The torque comes in at 29. I'll try 28. Starting at 2800 till 53. Okay. Is it loud? It's kind of loud, eh?
It sounds good though.
Okay. I'm going to do another test back to back. Looks good. The air fuel looks a bit on the rich side, but anyways, you know what? We're not going with this carburetor anyways. I'm going to try the Thumper later on. And after that, I'm going to try the client's carburetor that he has here also. So we're going to go through some carburetor tuning here today. All right, I'm going to do another test back to back. Stopped at 52, 53. Wow. You know what they say? 1 horsepower per cubic inch is pretty good. Here we are at 415 HP. You know, we're still going to play with air fuel ratio. It's kind of on the rich side. Yeah, it's very rich, 11.8, 11.9. So, you know what? I'm going to take off this carburetor. I'm going to go with the Thumper. Then I want to go with the client's carburetor, back to back. Because, you know, why buy a carburetor when his carburetor works? So we're going to tune it on this. But I'm just trying a few carburetors. And I'm not going to take this apart. It's running on the rich side. We have 415 HP. We've got already 452 foot-pounds of torque at 2,900 RPM, which is pretty good for a street car. So we're running on the rich side. Timing is good. I'm going to play with the timing after with this other carburetor. But in the meantime, I'm just looking for any major problems like oil leaks, vibrations, and vacuum leaks. So far, so good. So I'm going to take off this carburetor, put on the Thumper, see how that goes. Then after that, we're going to go with this carburetor.
Jeff's 408 is off to a great start on the dyno. Rod and Irma from Tennessee picked a perfect day to drop into Nick's and hear some MOPAR music. The visitors get back on the road, off to enjoy one of Montreal's wonderful restaurants, as Nick gets back to work on the stroker.
Put a vacuum port on it so that I can get a reading on idle. Okay, I just installed a 750 double pumper from Thumper. I just want to try it just for the fun of it. Then after that, I want to go back to the original carburetor that belongs to the client, which is right here. I just got to figure out what CFM this is, which I'm going to look up in a few minutes. But in the meantime, let's make a test with the Thumper. Okay, let's get started. Well, the previous carburetor was running too rich. Maybe this one might run rich, but I'm not going to start taking apart carburetors because I really want to tune it with my client's carburetor if it's the correct size. So I'm going to look it up after a couple of tests here with the Thumper, then we'll take it from there. Well, we need some fuel in the carburetor. Here we go. Here we go. Looking good so far? So far good. pressure is good. Okay, let's make a test. So we're going to run the same parameters, which are going to be, I believe, from 28 to 5300. Okay, here we go. Let me just write another block here. Wow. And what's the noise level?
115.5.
That's pretty loud, isn't it?
It's too high.
Too high, of course. This is very loud. That's the sound of the engine of Dyno. 115.5. Okay, so we're on the books on this one. Okay, all right, here we go. Okay, this one ran, it's still running rich. It's still running rich, but we got some good horsepower on this one. The torque came in at 473 at 3,600 RPM. Okay, so we added like a 1/4 inch or 3/8 spacer on it. We got some good torque numbers on it, and the horsepower came in at 422.5 at 5,100 RPM. I'll bring it up to 5,500 RPM, make another test. It is running a bit rich, but then again, like I said, I am not gonna tamper with this carburetor. I'm gonna work with his. But first, let's see if his is a 750 CFM, and then we'll take it from there. This is good. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. Put the fan on, George, please. Want to make sure I got full throttle. I'm ready. Come on, here we go. Wow. We've got some Hemi numbers on this one. 490 foot-pounds of torque at 4,000 RPMs, and the horsepower 424.5 at 5,100 RPM, just like a Hemi. Is that something or what? This is beautiful. That Thumper carb seems to be working even though it is running rich. This is great. This is great. This is good. It's got a Hemi here. It's got the horsepower and the torque readings of a Hemi. Practically at the same RPMs also. Anyways, that's great. Anyways, I'm not gonna leave it with this carburetor. I'm gonna try his carburetor now. So let's make another swap. Here we go. Now we're going to his carburetor. I'm just curious. I'm gonna put his carburetor here. I'm just gonna look it up, see if it's a 650 or 750 or whatever. I'm gonna look it up and I'll be right back. And then we're gonna try his carburetor, but most likely we're gonna stay with his carburetor. I'm not sure. Let's make a test and see how it goes. I guess it's an old carburetor. Anyways, we'll find out. Let's look it up on the internet. Here we go. Looks like a good carburetor. 770 CFM. Looks like he's got enough CFM on this. Okay, so we're going with this carburetor today. 770 CFM. And let's put it on and see how it goes. This is a vacuum secondary, which I recommend for the street use. Sure, for all-out racing, a double pumper will make more power, but a double pumper I don't recommend for a street car. Right now I'm going to tune it. I know that this has the potential 425 horsepower, 490 foot-pounds of torque, but you know what? Let me just tune it with this carburetor in case we stay with it or not. So, you know what? Since I've got it, let's make a little test and see how it goes. This is what the dyno room is for. All right, we've got the 770 CFM carburetor that belongs to Jeff. This is what came with the car. This is what I'm going to tune it with because I got enough CFM on it. So let's make some testing because I want to see the air-fuel ratio on full throttle. And at the same time, I'll be tuning it. So it's going to stay with this carburetor, so I'll tune it with this carburetor. Okay, it's running lean, 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 lean. Okay, let's make a test. Okay, let's see how this one performs. Here we go. sure everything goes good. Okay, with vacuum secondaries. Oh wow. Makes a big difference from double pumper to vacuum secondaries. Okay, now I'm gonna talk to my client what he wants to do before I go any further. You know, with his carburetor, I'll just make another test back to back. Let's check the air fuel ratio. Air fuel ratio is 12.4, 12.5. He's off by a little bit. It's running a bit on the rich side. I'll just make another test back to back. And we're gonna see from there. I'm sure he's gonna want a double pumper. I'm not sure. You know what? I'm gonna have to call him tomorrow and get into details with him at the meantime. So I don't know what to do right now. Like I said, let me go into carburetors. I'll give him a call. So I'm gonna make one more test with this carburetor with the vacuum secondaries, which is a perfect street carb. Horsepower, maybe he's looking for power, maybe he's looking for more torque. So you know what? He does have a stroker kit. Maybe he wants to go with a double pumper like the Thumper. I'll just make one more test with what he's got. And I know that this engine has the potential of 500 foot-pounds of torque and 400, maybe with the correct air fuel ratio, we can get 430 horsepower with 500 foot-pounds of torque with the correct air fuel ratio with any 750 double pumper carburetor. But in the meantime, this is what I've got. This is what it looks like. It's gonna look good. And I'm gonna make one more test with this carburetor so I can give him the results and then take it from there. Here we go. I don't think he's gonna go with this carburetor. I doubt it very much. Okay, here we go. Oil pressure is good. Yeah. 412 HP. Torque numbers are 482, 483. Hey, not bad, not bad. It's getting there. You know what? I'm just gonna say one thing. Maybe with some fine tuning on this carburetor, I might get close to what I got with the Thumper. But in the meantime, you know, I've got work in the shop. I got a lot of things going on in the shop. And you know what? Before I do anything any further, I need to get in touch with my client, Jeff, and he see what he wants to do with it.
So now, thanks to Nick's hard work, Jeff has a real 408 stroker for his Barracuda. And he has some options for which carburetor to use.
So in the meantime, this is what we've got. It looks pretty good, a lot more than what he had last time. So like I said, he's got the power and torque of a Hemi, and I'm sure he'll be satisfied with the small bore. So thanks for watching us here on Nick's Garage. And you guys, if you look down below the video, we have a whole bunch of merchandise that you guys can buy. So whatever you like, buy it, love it, wear it, and enjoy it. And help spread the word of Nick's Garage. And if you have some time, check out our Patreon page. We have extra content and you guys can watch it and take it from there. And we'll see you next time.